it's Caroline here. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be putting together a pocket page for my 12 by 12 album using the Wonder Story Kit from Ali Edwards. I'm in the UK, so I'm always a little bit delayed at getting the supplies and the kits from the US, particularly this one. This one took a long time to come, so it's the one that I'm actually working with at the moment. It arrived on the same day as the December story kit because Wonder was their November story kit, and they both arrived on the same day this month, so in January. So that's just how much of a delay I'm working with, but that's absolutely fine. So as I said, this is going to be, it's a bit new for me. I'm normally working in a 6 by 8 album, but this year I wanted to shake things up a little bit. I really wanted to return to 12 by 12 pages. Not exclusively. I do still want to work in my 6 by 8 in my traveller's notebook, but I want to return to 12 by 12 pages because that's where I started scrapbooking, and I just love the creativity. I love that nice big canvas, so I'm really looking forward to working back in one of those albums again. But I remember that one of the reasons in the past that I stopped working with story kits was because I was finding it really difficult to translate just cards and embellishments into layouts, basically finding 12 by 12 papers, etc. to match. So I'm going to do a bit of both. So I have actually already created a page to do with this story. So I've scrapbooked one 3 by 4 photograph using the Chamel January Best of Both Worlds kits, and I will go and grab that layout in a second so you can see that. And so my vision in my album is that, actually let me go and grab my album so I can show you. Okay, here is my album so far. I have a 12 by 12 page using the Tracy Reed Renew collection. That was her January collection. These are printable scrapbook supplies. So I've used a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock as the background. I absolutely love this page, and it's just perfect to open the album with. Yeah, love it. Loved this collection. Really good. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check that one out, definitely. So then it goes into 2 pages using the Chamel Best of Both Worlds kit. I've got this one here about my daughter's awards evening where she picked up her GCSE exam results. Well, she's already knew the results. That was for the certificates. And then this one here, which was last Friday's, I think, project. And this is telling the story. There's a lot of journaling there already, as you can see, but really lovely, using this pink fresh circle paper, all punched out the circles, to tell the story about finally getting out and about in our motorhome again, which frees us up to go for lots and lots of walks, which is something that my husband and I absolutely love. So I used one photo of just the 2 of us, but I had lots of really fun photos from this walk that I had planned to put into our 6 by 8 story album. But I thought, why not keep them all together and add in an insert, a Project Life insert into those 2 pages using complementary supplies, or maybe even not. It doesn't really matter if they don't match. I'm being really loosey-goosey this year. I'm going to just go with it and do the things that make my heart happy. So I've got this page, and then I have this pocket page here that is going to tell different aspects of the same story, and I think that's going to work really, really well. So my intention is to use the Wonder Story Kit to tell these additional bits of story, to capture what I wanted to add in, and to use my photos from this day, from this walk. It is a complete coincidence, a happy coincidence, that actually this colour palette, the Wonder colour palette, do match the papers that I happen to choose for this page. That is a coincidence. I wouldn't be that bothered if they didn't, but they do, so that's going to be really lovely. I think just for your interest, what I'm going to do on this page is I actually have another couple of photos of Alora from this evening. They are all portrait orientation, so I haven't really got that much of a story to tell, but so I might use those here, or I might just do a completely different story with pockets there, but I will work on this side and then know that I have this side in my album to come back to at some point. I do ideally like to tell stories in my albums in chronological order. It just makes my brain and my heart happy. So I will work on something around there. I might get Alora to fill in some cards maybe and tell me her version of the story. She's really happy and open to do that for me, so that would be great. So that's where I'm starting with today. I've already printed my photos out. I haven't cut them out yet because I'm not sure what cards I'm going to be using or anything like that. So I've at the moment just printed them out. I have 6 portraits and 1 landscape with our motorhome in the background. So I am going to put you onto voiceover, speed things up a bit and get started.
Okay, then let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is look through the kit, which I've already unpacked into my tray here, and look for cards. So at the moment, all I'm looking for are any sentiments that might really match my story, and particularly the colours of the cards, because I am aware that this is going to go next to that 12 by 12 page that's already in my layout, and I want to keep with a really soft colour scheme. You'll see there is a 3 by 8 piece of paper or journal card that was in the centre of the screen then. You'll see it again in a moment here, and that's the one, and that's the card that I'm using really as the base of my palette for this pocket page. It's nice and soft, it's just beautiful. So I want to pull out any of the cards that might match that colour palette and take it from there. Now, in the Ali Edwards kits, story kits these days, you actually get, I think, 2 or 3 pieces of pattern paper sized outside of the page protector, and that's what you can see up there on the left. And I'm considering cutting that down to a 6 by 4 size so that I can use it as a pattern card, basically. Now what I'm doing here is I've decided that I'm going to keep 2 of those 6 by 4 collages together because they're going to go in the 6 by 4 pockets, but I will want 2 of the portrait photos at 3 by 4 size. So I've already trimmed those down. They're a little bit smaller than 3 by 4 because I have to trim off the border to make it match. So I will consider later on in the video whether I want to mat those or not. It's going to depend, I think, on the papers or cards that go on the other side of this project. So you'll see I did decide to cut down that pattern paper. I'm really glad I've done that, and I am going to continue to do that further because I find it really difficult to often use those pieces of paper. So I've got a few of them building up in my stash now, so I'm going to start cutting them up and using them. One of the things that came in the kit that I absolutely adore are these vellum hearts. I think there are 5 or 6 of them, and I know that I want to use them. You'll see one over there on the rainbow card, and I've seen quite a few people who have already been working with this kit cluster them all together and layer them up and really make a focal point of them, which I want to do, but I am suffering from one of the things that I often suffer with when I love a piece of product, and that is that I don't want to use them because I don't want to use them on this project in case further down the line, tomorrow, next week, next month, there is another project where I think, oh, I wish I had those vellum hearts. So that is a problem. That is a problem. It's something that I really am going to work to address. But what I will end up doing in a short while is I am going to custom make a few of my own vellum hearts to match and pair up with ones from the kit. I love the look of those 3 vellum hearts there, but I just can't bring myself to use 4 hearts on one pocket page. So I am going to switch out to and create my own vellum heart. I've practiced a little in a little while with stamping, and to see if I can stamp with some lovely grey ink a beautiful wood grain stamp that I've got, and it works really well. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm just cutting the heart with my own vellum to match. This is just a plain vellum at the moment, and then in a brief while I will stamp with the wood grain background stamp on top of that, so it'll stand out a little bit more. And I'm really happy with that look. It's something I don't know why I haven't considered doing it in the past, and I'm certainly going to do it in the future with different background stamps. Again, 2023 is going to be my year where I use my stash, use the things that I've got that are in pretty baskets on my shelves that I'm just not using. So I'm going to commit to using them, and I'm saying that here now on YouTube for many people to listen to and say, Caroline, why didn't you use your stash? So I'm going to do it. So here I am now using my ink and that gorgeous wood grain background stamp to create my own embellishments. So I've already cut those vellum hearts to the same size as the ones that came in the kit. I laid them down on some scrap paper, inked up my stamp, and then pressed down onto the vellum. When I turned the stamp over, the vellum actually had stuck to the stamp, which was really good because I could see through the vellum and little areas where the wood grain hadn't stamped. So I just pressed that down, just tapped it really lightly with my finger, peeled it off with my tweezers, and then I've set them over to the side on my windowsill where, as you can see from my screen here, it's very sunny. So they're going to dry off nice and dry, and then I'll be able to get them onto my page. Next thing to do here is to go through the kit and work with the embellishments that come with it. The kits always come with at least one set of chipboard pieces with beautiful sentiments that match the story theme. And as I said, this story kit, the theme is wonder. First of all, I'm adding on that vellum heart that I know I want to use, and I've used a tiny attacher staple to attach that. It's one of my favourite ways of attaching vellum so that you can't see the adhesive, and it makes a feature of the attacher. And so because of that, although I have actually stuck these chipboard down with sticky adhesive, I've opted to go back in with my tiny attacher and add some staples on just for effect, really, just so that I have that as a repetitive motif across the page. And I will do the same on that top left hand card once my other vellum hearts, my stamped vellum hearts, are dried and attached. The next thing I'm doing now are pulling out the word phrase strips that came with the kit. It's quite a lot of sentiments to choose from here, which is really good. Generally, when these kind of things are included in the kits, they are word phrase stickers, but with this kit it was perforated strips, so non-adhesive on the back, and you have to pull them apart, cut them up, and then add your own adhesive. I actually don't like these ones as much as the word phrase stickers. I'm not a fan of the perforated edge, to be honest, so I do end up having to get my fussy cutting scissors out and just really kind of lightly shaving off those little perforated edge pieces. I don't know why, it's just not a look that I like, so that's just my thing. Here you can see I've pulled in those stamped hearts and they look fantastic. I'm so pleased with how they look. I'm definitely going to pair that stamp with that ink and vellum in the future because I just love it. I have used the tiny attacher to attach the hearts there, but probably because they were inked and they've been in the sun for quite a while now, they have curled. So because that darker heart in the centre of that trio is from the kit, is a little bit less see-through because of its colour, I have stuck a little tiny bit of adhesive underneath my hearts to hold them flat, and that's worked really well, and you can't see the adhesive, so I'm really happy with the way that looked. And with that card, actually, I do feel that it needs something. It's the only area on this page that hasn't got any white because of all those borders around the photos and the white journaling card and the white background to the rainbow. So I'm going to counteract that and just balance everything out by adding one of those word strips across the hearts, and I think that does it really well. It really grounds that card, finishes it off, and I'm just really pleased with it. The final thing I have to do here, which I will do off camera, is to add my journaling in. I'm trying to decide which of the two cards to use, and I've opted for that casual adventure journaling card, which gives me that little bit more room for story. So here we have the completed project. It is going to go into my album, and I will post a photograph on Instagram once I've done that and once I've added in my journaling. Really happy with how it looks, and it's going to look fantastic next to that 12 by 12 page. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked this. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.